This tutorial, we are now going to add sound to a button on the over state of the button. This will give you additional interactivity for your product. First of all, we need to look at a button that's already had sound added to it, so we can look at the basic structures involved, and then we'll build one from scratch. The idea then is for user response to occur when the mouse goes over a button. In the case of activity 1, you may have heard what happened in my headphones. You roll over the button and you get the statement. Now, how do we build this in? I've unlocked the buttons layer, and activity 1 is where the information is stored. So let's go inside of activity 1 button, and what you'll notice now, different to the previous buttons, is that we've now got 4 layers. We've got a text layer, we've got the areas where we've built the button, and now we have a sound layer. And I have placed the sound of activity 1 in the over state of the button, so that when the mouse goes over the button, it plays the sound activity 1. Well, let's have a go at building that into one of our other buttons. Okay, I've selected the button activity 4, which I'm going to click on, which takes me into the states of the button. And I'm going to lock all my other layers, and I'm going to insert a new layer and call it sound. I need a keyframe in the over state, so I'm going to go onto the layer called sound, go to the over state. This is the state when the mouse is over the button, and insert a blank keyframe. This is ready now. This is like a container ready to hold the sound. Now, in the previous video, we brought the activity 4 sound into the library. With this in mind and all the other layers locked, you can pick up the sound and literally just drop it onto the stage. And what happens is that the sound is going all the way through. It's also going in the down state, so I'd prefer that not to happen, so I'm going to insert a keyframe there, so it's just in the over state. I'm going to lock that layer. I'm going to go back to scene 1. I'm going to do Control, Test Movie, and if I go over activity 4, you may not hear this, but activity 4, it's playing in my headphones, which is exactly what I want it to do. So what you can now do is record additional sounds and pop those into the other buttons to practice this particular skill. I hope that was fairly straightforward to follow, and in part 3 we'll look at building additional sound features into your interactive multimedia product.